inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. Fine. How do you do to you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Terrific as well. We are here to remind you that small business is big business. Your business is our business. And there ain't no business like the radio business.
No kidding.
Right?
No kidding. These are exciting times in radio. I'm sure that you have heard recently about Toys R Us possibly, going into bankruptcy.
Yeah, they filed bankruptcy.
Right before the holiday retail season.
What kind of craziness is that? Wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in Mexico, and Toys R Us bankrupt.
A lot of people, when they think about radio, and I've had several people ask me, is radio kind of going by way of the dinosaur, by way of what was the old retailer, the old bookstore that used to be here? Not the one that was
Barnes and Noble, but the
Borders.
other one, Borders.
Borders,
yeah,
right? By way of Borders or Blockbuster Video.
No, radio is not going in that direction, not even by a long shot. I remember 8 years ago, Angel, when we started on radio, they said, "Oh, that will never last. The digital age is upon us," and it's great. We have internet radio, or what you call podcasting, or whatever, but everything that we do today is also on digital.
I mean, think about if radio were a social media platform that was invented today, kind of like your Twitter and your Snapchat and your YouTube,
right? It
would be one of the most popular social media sites.
Clearly.
Because it's on the go. It's wherever you are.
Yep.
The idea of always having to have this, big tall tower in order to receive, when you're in your car, you have to have your antenna. Not anymore.
No, it goes with you everywhere.
It goes with you everywhere because we all are now carrying around our smartphones. And because of the digital age, because of apps, because of streaming, all of that, it is a very exciting time to be in radio, which means it's also one of the most exciting times for you to have a presence on the radio.
It really does. And by having a presence, we're not talking necessarily about an advertising presence, but a presence altogether. And that is, what separates you? Let's say you're a realtor, or let's say you are in the mortgage industry, or in any kind of a service industry. What separates you from the myriad of other people who are doing the same kind of things? If you sell insurance, right? I mean, there's a lot of people who sell insurance. What's a differentiator for you? One of the vice presidents and marketing managers for a major network says this. He says, "This is what makes it the most exciting time in my history in radio, because there are so many different ways to attack the needs of a client." What he failed to say was there's so many ways to differentiate yourself from your competition.
So often, don't we want, if people only knew, if they only knew this part of our story, if they only knew how we contributed to if they only knew some of these testimonials, these heartwarming changes that we've made, and you just need a platform to share that story. Radio is the perfect place to do that because, think about if you were doing print, right now you'd have to be doing all the setup for your December turnout, right?
Easily.
So, and if you were doing television, again, there's a whole lot of production and pre-planning. Radio is today.
It is today.
It's immediate. You get to tell today's story today.
And that's a good thing for each and every person in there, because this is where we're looking for that information as well. If I want to find out what's going on, I have my pre-selection of stations that I tune into, right? That I want to know. If I want the sports, I know the station to go for that. If I want the news, I know the station to go for that. If there's business, it's this station, and it. That's why you tune in. And so here's the thing. And if you look at what's happened over retail, over the last 10 years, there are people, and you mentioned print, and aside from a couple of people that are associated with the Experience Pros, I know a lot of print companies who are looking at the extinction line, right?
Well, because so much right now is based on technology. People
Right.
want to be able to do it from their device.
You
They don't
bet.
want to have to always go into the retail store, drive across town, find a parking spot, go through the store to try to find what it is they're looking for, stand in line to talk to somebody about it and to check out and to carry that all out to their car and then to carry it into their house or their office. When I could, with a click of a button, wherever I
Right.
am, search, find, yes, tag, click, and pay, and now it's delivered to my door. And technology is taking over for all of us, no matter what industry
Sure.
we're in. But radio is the most poised already. It's not this huge shift in how we've done business.
Well, and dollar for dollar, no matter how you invest, whether you invest to have a message on the radio, if you invest to have an advertisement on the radio, dollar for dollar, it is still the best bang for your buck.
No kidding.
And going back to the question of, is this going the way of the dinosaurs? Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Radio
not.
is adapted faster and it's more nimble than any of the other medias. Newspapers are closing every day. Television shows are massively expensive.
Yep.
And so radio is one of those things. And there always will be an over the air element to the radio. It's not only how we got started, but it is also the future, because who knows what happens? A hurricane comes down and all the electricity is down, right?
Mhm.
You can still do that crank up deal and get a radio signal to find critical information about what's going on.
Well, it is also the most visual medium that there is out there. And
Which is
people think-
interesting to hear you say that, because television appears to be more
appears
visual.
to be, right? Because you're looking at it.
Right.
But when you listen, and you can listen to radio and podcasts, right? When you're working in the yard, when you're driving your car, when you're messing around the office. I mean, you can be exercising out for a walk.
Right.
And as you are listening, your brain is creating these word pictures.
Absolutely. You could be tall and blonde.
I'm very tall on the radio. I am very tall on the radio. I often say that. But you get to fill in the blanks. So think about if your brand is being represented on the radio and
Yep.
the stories that you're telling and the things that you're sharing, people get a real visual for who you are and what you do.
That's right.
It is so powerful. So make sure that your brand has a presence. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. There's obviously here, but millions of places on radio that you can actually have a presence. So look at your marketing, get together with your team and say, I know we need more education. We need more visibility. We want to set ourselves head and shoulders above the rest.
You bet.
We want to establish ourselves as the specialist in the marketplace. Radio is the way to do that.
And if any of that makes any sense to you whatsoever, and as a differentiator or whatnot, write us at radio@experiencepros.com and ask whatever questions you want. We'll help you find the best place for you. And I'm telling you, Angel, it's an exciting day because the relevance of radio has never been more strategically positioned for the small business entrepreneur. And keep in mind, when we came on the air 8 years ago, the only people that you heard on radio, either advertising or on the weekend shows where they paid to be on the air, were the gold producers, right? The car dealerships, the insurance companies, and the what do you call them? In any case, jewelers. So,
Like five industries.
Nobody really had an opportunity as a small business level until we got here and said, something, let's do it differently. And from the moment that we did, it has been a revolution in the way people treat people in business on radio. I should probably add that little tagline, on radio.
On the radio, right? So video did not kill the radio star.
Thank God.
In fact, video, you see so many radio hosts now are using video in their studios. You get to see behind the scenes. And, when we bring in a guest into the studio, we get to put them in the celebrity chair.
Yeah.
They get their headphones, they get their sticker, they get to be featured as celebrity of the day.
It's a special experience. One of our favorite chefs, Chef Rick Esper, just says, it's because I have a face for radio, isn't it? It's good to hear your voice, or at least see your text there, Rick. Thank you so much for chiming in. We appreciate you. And radio is interactive in the moment.
You know what it is? It's right now today. So think about, I remember we had a gentleman who was making some changes in his business model.
Mhm.
And on the spot, on the day of, we had his advertisements all changed. He got to be in the studio talking about it. You don't have to wait.
You
It's
do not have
not
to wait.
all pre-recorded and pre-printed and pre-established. It can be very current.
You want to make radio your strategic advantage? Give us a call. And, well, actually, better yet than giving us a call, write us at radio@experiencepros.com. List any question you've got. We'll answer it happily. Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer hanging out with you. When we come back, we're going to talk diets. That's right, diets. Oh, no. Don't you go away. This is worth your time. Back after this.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros radio show. Contact them on the web at Experience.